We have an international attraction. We've been offered Lola Montez. Her manager's written.
What kind of offer?
She'll tour with her own company under our management. The terms are excellent. We take 30%.
Before expenses or after expenses?
Oh, she's so big it won't matter.
John, let's be very careful. The woman has a dreadful reputation.
She's box office.
I don't like the idea of our being associated with her. She's...
Oh, they'll love her. I'm writing back. Our fortune will be made. She's a star. Crosby Management presents Lola Montez.
Lola Montez was quite a woman. She was a living legend, and she worked at it. She was a star. She was a great beauty, and she was notorious as the greatest lover of her time. She was mistress to the writer Alexandre Dumas, to the composer Franz Liszt, and to King Ludwig of Bavaria, and by her own reckoning, 77 others. By the time we meet Lola, she's already blazed her way across India, England, the continent of Europe, and the United States of America.
Good luck. She'll need it. What the hell is going wrong with San Francisco and all? Takings are down. They throw up on the stage these days wouldn't dress a performing seal.
The gold rush is over.
But I've been writing letters.
Letters?
Yeah, letters to managements abroad. Now, if you got a moment...
No, not tonight, Noel.
You feeling all right?
Yes, I'm feeling wonderful.
Over the next few years, your personality will gradually deteriorate. You will find it difficult to concentrate. Your judgment will be impaired. Eventually, there will be delusions. Apathy one moment, violent rage the next. You will have temporary remissions when things appear to be normal. But...
It comes back.
Yes.
Then it kills you.
Yes.
I take it this won't do a lot for my dancing career.
I am sorry. Oh, no, please. I am an admirer.
Thank you.
What did the doctor say?
Oh, slight anemia. I need to make a great deal of money.
Lola, I've been trying to tell you. I got a deal for us. 6-month tour. We manage ourselves. I take $5,000. You get the rest of the profits. You'll make a bundle, I guarantee you.
The tour? Where?
They got no stars of their own. They love the big name.
Where, Noel?
Australia.
Austria? Oh, well, I love Austria. Oh, the Tyrol. And Vienna's such a receptive city.
Lola, Australia.
Australia?
They haven't seen you.
Do you know how far away that is?
I've been writing to managements there. Lola, they got theaters. They speak English. There's some Indians, but mostly the people are white.
Yes, but do they have any money?
There's a gold rush.
She's at the peak of her career.
The peak?
The absolute peak.
How old is she, Mr. Crosby?
Late 30s?
The most beautiful woman of our generation. At the peak of her career. Coming to show Australia how it's
Perhaps
done.
40.
A star!
We anticipate arriving in Sydney on the 7th.
You must tell me more about your country, Captain. I've always wanted to go to Australia. Ever since I was a small child in Spain.
I thought you were Irish.
My late husband was Irish. I learned my English from him. Tell me more about this gold rush you're having down there.
One of the old Montezes?
I dance under my maiden name.
I haven't been
Her
to
name's the
Goldfields myself.
only maiden thing about her.
That cow!
I think she had her eye on the captain herself. You know, the captain, the guy you were flirting with?
Oh, no.
I left a decent wife and 2 kids 10,000 miles away, Lola. You can't blame me if I get a job.
Then go back to them. Come. Countess. You'll call me Countess.
Countess. Countess of Lansfeld. I love you.
I hope you're right about Australia, Noel.
Why do you need all this money straight away?
I just do. I do, and this tour had better work.
Everything is of the most modern, Countess. I'm sure you'll be delighted with the arrangements.
We're running late. Mr. Crosby, the press are here.
I'm sure you'll like your dressing room, Countess. We've had it done up specially.
Ah, so sweet. I can tell I'm in good hands.
We don't want to upset them.
Yes, dear. Well, if we just allow the Countess...
You have the glass?
Oh, certainly, Countess. Stanley, insert the pink glass.
We're late for the press, Countess. I'm sure you understand how vital they are to us.
Please, Mrs. Crosby, an artiste of the Countess's Stanley.
They are very important to us. It's make or break.
Yes, it's good.
What do you think of Australia, Lola?
Countess or Madame Montez, please.
What do you think of Australia?
A wonderful country, I think. Naturally, I've heard much about it and have been acquainted with many of the gold miners from Australia who came to California.
2 years ago, the correspondent in your divorce from Patrick Hull, the owner of the San
I
Francisco...
will not talk about Mr. Hull.
Would you like to talk about the German doctor who was your correspondent
I
in
said
that
I will not
divorce?
talk about Mr. Hull.
Correspondent who was found
Please,
shot dead.
gentlemen, the Countess has an announcement of some importance to make.
Would the Countess like to tell us why she's still known as the Countess, when all her Bavarian honours were revoked in 1848?
Has an announcement
7 years
of
ago?
some importance to make.
During our season here in Sydney, in the spirit of patriotism, which Australia is world famous for, we shall be giving a grand Sebastopol matinee performance for the benefit of the wounded heroes of the Crimea. And when we leave these shores, we shall be going to the Crimea itself to entertain the troops. This is at the personal request of Lord Raglan and Florence Nightingale.
You can't say things like that.
Why not?
It isn't true. We've got no personal invitation from Lord Raglan and Florence Nightingale.
They have not invited us.
No,
So the invitation is understood.
Lola, we are talking about the national hero and heroine of their empire.
That little cockroach came in here wanting to destroy me. To destroy my season. He had the story already written in his head. So I gave him something better. Now, important things, Noel, that Miss Hamish has to go.
Isabel Hamish?
She paints her face, she's tightened the clothing. She moves when I am acting. And last night she was grinning at the audience from upstage during our big scene. The trollop has to go.
She has a contract. I promised her mother
Noel?
We'll audition locals tomorrow.
Do you act?
Yes, the balcony scene from Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this? She's not
'Tis
bad.
but thy name.
Thank you, dear. Can you do the Sally's hornpipe? Hornpipe, please. We really wouldn't be helping her career. She should be playing leads. Thank you, dear.
Thank you very much.
Next.
I'm sorry, Countess. I'm not used to all these things.
Take all the time you like, my dear.
Full house again, Lola.
They have to go, Noel.
What?
The company. Paris is still gagging during that scene. Mr. Sullivan was late again this evening, and Peters is so drunk he can scarcely carry a spear. They're all conspiring against me, eating into my profits. Mr. Crosby assures me he can find locals who are better and cheaper.
Lola. They have contracts.
So did little Miss Hamish.
And she's suing?
But we're going across the border to the next colony down, whatever it's called.
Victoria. We're going to the colony of Victoria, capital city, Melbourne.
Different colony, different laws. Fire the company. The Crosbys will find us people when we get there.
Lola, you can't do this. Quarter of an hour. We got 15 minutes to get a writ here before we... Yes?
Sorry to bother the Countess, but a gentleman from the Sheriff's office has a warrant for the Countess's arrest.
Arrest? It's absurd. What charge?
A claim for £100 on behalf of Miss Hamish.
£100.
Please.
£100.
Sorry, Miss Montez, there's more warrants coming through for 1,200.
£100. And as an earnest of good faith, 200 more.
Come on, open up, I want the money.
You've had 3 times the amount on your warrant. Now go.
If I don't get the money, I'm going to arrest you.
I cannot disappoint my Melbourne public. But if you wish to arrest me, you would have to arrest me naked.
Good God, the woman's mad.
Naked! Naked!
Yes! I'll be back in an hour.
He's gone, Miss Montez. We'll sail at once.
Thank you, dear Captain. So many take advantage of poor, weak women.
Magnificent.
It looks good.
Oh, my dear, don't you worry yourself.
I am worried. I'm worried about how the Melbourne press is going to react. And I'm worried about you.
Worried about me?
Since we heard that woman's name, I haven't had a sensible word out of you. You're infatuated with her. And so is every other man around her.
Well, you must admit, my dear, she does have an air...
An air of what?
An air... she's larger than life itself. The people love her.
Well, I don't. I'm worried. Now, Countess, on the subject of Melbourne, they're very staid down here. It's a very respectable city. They have their standards, and they stick to them.
It's very interesting.
We just have to be a bit careful here.
Yes, indeed, we must. Thank you for telling me.
So in the scene where King Ludwig makes for Countess, we're still saying, you taught me so much, Lola, your Spanish soul has captured my German heart.
Yes, and then my line changes too, but there is so much to reform here, Your Majesty. So much to learn about democracy from the younger countries of the world, like Australia, or, no, I'll say Victoria.
Lola, what are you doing?
Making some adjustments for Melbourne.
Someone, I hate seeing you like this.
No! It'll pass.
You're not going to like it.
Read it.
Why, the stage of the Theatre Royal should have been selected for a public exhibition of the kind which took place last evening we cannot imagine. If scenes of this kind are ever to be repeated, we consider that the interference of the authorities is imperatively called for to put them down as a nuisance and as utterly subversive to all ideas of decency.
We'll sue, of course.
Did you have to pay them to write this? Tell Mr. Crosby to double the prices.
What?
Double the prices! Mother Grundy has given us a hit.
Wonderful, Lola. Story's packing him, and you were right. You've never been better.
You should always trust my theatrical instincts and my assets. General!
My dear girl.
How delicious to see you.
Doubly delicious to see you.
Oh, General, this is Mr. Folland, one of my company. Mr. Folland, this is Major General Willesee.
Holland.
General.
Oh, please, sit down.
Thank you.
What on earth are you doing here?
Just in from Calcutta, actually. Saw your damn posters, caught the act, and here we are. Got the hounds out there baying for you as usual, huh? Oh, my dear, where's the brandy?
Oh, no, and the cigars.
Yes, of course. Countess.
Now, Lola, my dear, on the subject of boating, tomorrow.
This is new. Where's it from?
India. It belonged to a dead Maharani.
It's from a live general. What you have to do to earn it.
Do you really want me to tell you? So you actually went to jail of the Eureka Stockade, Mr. Seacamp?
When the miners rose against the government, I supported them in my newspaper. I went to jail for sedition, Countess.
That's very courageous of you.
The courageous ones faced the soldiers' bayonets, Countess.
No, no. It's the writers, the thinkers who changed the world, huh?
Tell me, what brought you to the goldfields, Countess?
I love playing to miners. I went down very well in the goldfields in California. I love miners, and miners love me. Mr. Seacamp, I've practiced my art before the crowned heads of Europe, before the high society of London, Paris, Berlin, and New York, but never am I more comfortable, more at home than among
gold diggers.
Than among gold miners. Wonderful men. Brave, strong, resourceful men going down into the dark earth to bring up gold. It's very romantic, huh? And I love romance.
It isn't very romantic down the mines, Countess.
No, which is why I give them romance on the stage.
Romance. Many of these men are away from their wives and families. They face grave moral temptations here. There have been incidents involving women.
Oh, Mr. Seacamp, you are concerned for my safety. Oh, do not trouble yourself. We need not discuss temptation. We are discussing art. My art will enable these men to transcend the drabness and danger of their daily lives. I am a comfort to them. You writing all this down, Mr. Seacamp?
Of course, Countess.
press should be a moral guide to the people. How can it discharge that duty when it fosters an unhealthy excitement about one who, to say the least, has no claim on our respect and whose morality is of an unenviable kind?
Sea camp.
Why is this one different?
The Melbourne papers said my dancing was subversive. This creature's calling me a whore. I will kill him.
I won't tell Crosby to double the prices.
I will not be called immoral. I will not!
John, what's the matter?
A woman of her position in society, an aristocrat. Can't face it. I can't believe you could write this about her.
Oh, my dear, don't trouble yourself about it.
Not trouble myself? When a woman as sensitive as the Countess has been insulted in this vile way?
You don't know anything about women at all, do you? The trollop's just lifted her skirts another 2 inches, and she's in there practicing her speech.
I appeal to the ladies as members of my own sex, and to the gentlemen as my natural protectors. There is a certain editor in this town called Seacam. Listen to my story and judge between us. This Mr. Seacamp told me that the miners here were a set of hogs. Yes, he called on me with a certain proposition. He accepted my hospitality. As you know, he's just a little fond of drinking. While he was at my house, the port, the sherry, the champagne, and the brandy were never off the table. He drank like an editor. And then he accuses me of immorality. I defy anyone to say that I am or ever was immoral. Gentlemen, I appeal to you for protection.
Wants me to run her off the diggings. Only too happy to oblige. Page 1.
Good day.
He has to be crushed. That odious little cockroach has to be crushed. We'll take him to law for assault. I'll sue him for libel.
Lola, you won. You won the fight. The miners are on your side.
Still writing his horrible sneering pieces. He must be silenced.
It's a free press. He can write what he likes.
The box, Countess?
In.
Go on, say it.
Countess, I wanted to discuss
Not
with you...
now, Mr. Crosby.
It's about the split, Countess, and your expenses.
I've just given a performance and I'm exhausted.
We have to discuss it.
Out! Get out!
Last chance, gentlemen, to get your tickets for the next big spin. Last chance. All beautiful prizes. You've got to be in it to win it.
Drinks for my thirsty miners. Some of them are growing mad.
Stand by.
Give them all a Lola.
Brandy and lemonade. Number 24.
24? I've got 24.
Select your prize, Countess. All beautiful prizes.
Noel. Fit for a horse, do you think? Fit for a hog? Fit for a certain editor. Hey, how about a Lola for Lola?
She said that.
She's buying the whole bar of drinks.
Bloody miners. I've always defended them. Went to jail for defending them. They side with that lying, money-grubbing trollop.
Mr. Seacamp?
That's for self-defense. Montez says she's going to whip me. I'm really shaking in my boots.
She's rehearsing.
Go and tell her that I'm in the bar, waiting to be horsewhipped. Go on. I'll steady my nerves while I'm waiting.
But stay. Who is this beautiful creature who has dared to force her way into my royal presence?
King Ludwig, a plot by the Jesuits has prevented me seeing you ere this. If I may but dance for your majesty. Actually, what really happened was, he asked me if this was nature's work alone. So I took a pair of scissors from his desk and...
I don't think we'll do that in Ballarat, if you don't mind, Lola. Now, if we can get on with the scene...
Mr. Seacomb's in the bar, Countess. Wondering if you'd like to whip him. I never knew he was English.
With pleasure.
Lola, no! Lola, stop! Just now!
How dare you call me a man?
Stop! I'm catching women! Let me go! Let me go!
I hope you've learned your lesson, you lying little cockroach!
Come back! Come back!
You want some? You want some of what I gave you, whore? Hmm?
Get out. That's it. That's the answer. I challenge him to a duel with pistols.
Does it hurt?
You and Mr. Crosby can be my seconds. I pistol him down like a dog.
There will be no dueling.
We'll get full of houses after this. Is there a bigger theater?
No. We can raise the prices.
How much?
I think after this, at least double.
We'll have a riot. You know miners, they burn down the theater. But I like men of action, generally speaking. Do you think I'm immoral? You do think I'm immoral? Am I a bad woman, Noel? Am I?
You're the most exciting woman in the world.
Exciting. Bad. Oh, everyone thinks so. You think so.
Lola.
I'm afraid of dying, Noel. I don't want to die.
No, you're not gonna die.
When I was a child, going upstairs to bed into the dark, up there, I knew that dying was going to be like that. I don't want to go up into the dark, Noel.
You've lived your life like a bright flame. You've brought light and love.
Love. I've had lovers. Men have died. I've brought death, Noel. I've brought disaster. Ludwig would still be king if it wasn't for me. And I fear the dark. I fear going into the dark for what'll happen there.
The bravest, most generous, most loving woman in the world.
We're infatuated with her.
The tour's bringing us great prestige.
But no money. She's keeping every penny. We're not even getting the percentage of what's thrown up on the stage every night.
Well, that's surely an artist's personal perquisite.
I am sick and tired of this. We have to renegotiate the split.
We made an arrangement.
Rearrange it, John, or I will.
Vonable. I cannot send my Lola into exile.
Is your Spanish dancer or your throne itself?
She is my Lolito. She has enriched my life. She is my advisor on the art.
She is your mistress.
How dare you? How is it the love of the spirit, of the intellect? Lola, we got a really bad laugh on this last night.
Play the line.
How is it the love of the spirit, of the intellect?
So, Vonable, you would poison the king's mind against me. Take that! Get back to your Jesuit masters, Ultramontane cur!
Lola, what is the whip doing in this scene?
Public now associate me with the whip. I intend to incorporate it into as many aspects of my performance as possible. Logically, I would use the whip on Vonable, boring little creature that he was.
Mr. Folland, I resign. I've appeared in theatres in Sydney, Hobart, and Launceston, and I've had offers from Calcutta and Cape Town. I do not have to endure physical abuse in the pursuit of my art.
Please. Lola.
We all suffer for our art. I think it could also be used to great effect in the spider dance.
You can use it in the spider dance, but you will not be using it in my habit.
I sometimes wonder, Noel, whether you're really a man of the theatre at all.
You saw what she did, Mr. Folland. I don't have to put up with this. My Hamlet was acclaimed in Launceston.
You're a great actor. Now, listen, look at me. I'll talk to Lola. I'm sure we won't be using the whip, but if we do, it'll be a proper whip. It'll run it.
Excuse me?
Countess, I wonder if we could have a few moments of your time.
Yes, what is it?
Well, it's about our cut.
I really think we should talk about this in private.
So do I.
This is outrageous. We have a deal, Crosby.
Yes.
Your expenses are far too high, and you know
I
it.
run this company as a business.
Lola.
As a business, Mr. Crosby. And in any other business, if a previously trusted employee was cheating me...
What are you saying?
Oh, I see the house every night. And I know what the box office ought to be,
This
and
is
you're
outrageous.
skimming.
You're accusing us of cheating.
I want to see the books and the ticket stubs for the last week, Mr. Crosby.
You're mad.
Tell your wife to stay out of
I
this.
will not stay out of it.
Stay out of
Some
it!
foreign... Bully. Schoolyard bully.
My dear!
She called us thieves.
Do I take it there'll be no whipping tonight?
You may take it that the season has ended.
She can't go on. Even speak to me. Now, the only way we'll get anything out of this is to do what I told you.
John, I can't.
We've got no choice. Ladies and gentlemen, I regret that this evening's performance by Lola Montez has been curtailed. Curtailed by an unfortunate incident to which this actual medical certificate written in a genuine doctor's own hand in an altercation with my good lady. In an altercation with my good lady, Madame Montez was whipped, which makes my wife the whipperess of the whipperess of the whippers.
Oh, let's go home. It's been a long tour. You're very tired. It's affecting your health. We should go. San Francisco, New York, the capitals of the world are waiting for Lola Montez.
Leave me alone. Please, Noel. Just go away. Just go.
My luggage isn't here. Better check. You be all right with yourself?
Noel. Forget the luggage. We have to talk. Noel, I just thought that on this voyage, we might be better off in separate cabins.
Excuse me?
You know how ill I've been.
Then you'll need me to look after you.
I'm sorry, Noel, but what I need is time on my own.
I'll give you time on your own. But I need to be with you.
Noel! We're going back to America. You have your wife and children to consider.
What are you trying to tell me?
I'm sorry.
Everybody warned me. They did warn me.
They were right.
Listen to me.
I have to make my plans. Get my affairs in order. Make my peace with God, and you can't be part of that.
Oh, this stupid obsession you have with dying. You're not dying. Are you? Lola. Lola. You're the woman I love. You're the woman I've loved most in my life. And you're locking me out. You may not be dying, but you're killing me. So I'm just the last in a long line. Suppose I should be flattered. Kings, generals. Just the latest. I want my money. We had a deal. I manage you, I get 5,000.
That changed, Noel. We hired the Crosbys.
The deal was 5,000. I want my money.
You'll get it. Now, please go.
Captain, you did it.
It's times like that that a captain earns his pay in salt beef. I put my pistol to the scoundrel's ear and said, if this ship's going to be taken over, it won't be by you, my lad.
That's thrilling. Excuse me, Captain. Please continue.
I think what I like most about the sea is freedom.
Yes,
Freedom of sail.
I understand. And now, if you'll excuse me, Captain, I think I'll say good night. Good night. Noel?
I've taken what's mine. Only what's mine.
Why don't we go down to the cabin and talk about this?
You want the bag to go down to the cabin. That's all you've ever been interested in.
Oh, that's not true, Noel. I care about you.
You don't care about anyone except yourself.
Noel, please be careful.
Why should I be careful? What reason do I have to be careful? You don't care about me.
Yes, I do.
You just want to be rid of me.
No, please. You're very upset, and I'm to blame. Please, come down to the cabin and talk about it.
You want the bag? Or me? You can't have both.
No, please.
Come and get it.
No, please. If anything happened to you, I couldn't bear it. Too many have died. Too many friends and lovers. And I don't think I can answer for another one. So please, Noel, be sensible and calm down.
I love you.
Oh! Come in.
Countess, I'm afraid I have very bad news. We've turned the ship back and there's no sign of him.
He had a bag with him, with some objects of sentimental value.
No sign of that either, I'm afraid.
Gone. If only you knew what I've lost.
I know it's a great shock.
He had a wife, you know, with 2 little ones. I trust for their sakes there'll be no inquiry.
There'll be no inquiry. It's quite clear what happened. Well, I'll...
No, Captain. Don't go.
On her return to San Francisco, Lola was penniless and was forced to sell what remained of the jewels given to her by King Ludwig. She tried to get her career up and going again, but nothing happened. From that moment in Ballarat when Mrs. Crosby beat her, it was all downhill. A few years later, the dying star became a convert and, Bible in hand, lectured to fallen women. Lola died of general paralysis of the insane, tertiary syphilis, at the age of 42 in 1861. She was buried in Brooklyn as Mrs. Gilbert, a long way from that palace in Bavaria.